Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Monday. So I don't typically use the weekdays to upload candle related content on my channel. I usually just save it for the weekends for the most part. However, I am kind of in full fall mode right now. I know it's too soon for some of you, but it's just really making me happy. So I am going with my happy place. And I'm going to upload some candle reviews during the week this week. And yeah, so if you're interested in this kind of stuff, definitely obviously stay tuned. Otherwise, I might have some, some other stuff coming up this week a little bit later on. All right, you guys, let's get into the review of Pumpkin Spice Latte. I actually have been enjoying this particular one so much that I already purchased a backup of it. Here it is. That's rare for me these days when it comes to Bath & Body Works candles, because I just think for the price point, even on sale, even with a coupon, which is really the only way that I purchase them, I'm still having a lot of performance issues for the most part. But this one, for the first half of the candle, has been doing pretty good. Now, I do think that I'm going to run into an issue with the Wicks here within the next couple of burns, but we'll talk about the Wicks in a second. They are my least favorite Bath & Body Works Wicks, so be forewarned. But you guys, the scent of this, I love it. I am one of those classic PSL girls in the fall. Whenever Starbucks comes out with the pumpkin spice latte, I'm usually the first one in line. And I typically only get it with one pump because it can be so sweet. And what I like about this candle is that it has some sweetness to it, but it's also not sickeningly or cloyingly sweet, which really is, I really love that. I think initially I was expecting this to be a little too cloying, but it's not. I really find more emphasis here on the coffee note than I do on the syrup that they use for the pumpkin spice lattes. So let's go ahead and read through the fragrance notes here. On this particular packaging, this new, I think this is called the Core Collection. It does have the scent notes on the front of the label. You can't really see them super well because the little scalloping from my candle holder. And I know I'm gonna get questions about this. You have seen this in videos. I picked this up at my local Fred Meyer during one of their like spring clearance sales a couple of years ago. So I don't know. I mean, I bet you can find something similar at, what do you call that place? Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, places like that. Worth a look. It actually also came with a hurricane. I just took it off for the purposes of the video, but I actually kind of like the hurricane. I do think it amplifies the scent just a little bit. So another thing that might be worth noting. So the fragrance notes read pumpkin pie spice, freshly brewed espresso, and homemade whipped cream with a sprinkling of cinnamon sugar. It's so good. This also has that new low profile lid. Have you guys seen these? They're super thin. I don't know how I feel about these, only because I feel like the suction isn't quite as good on the candle, but I don't know that that matters. That's irrelevant. Okay, so what do I get from this when it's burning? First of all, it smells very similar from cold sniff to burning. Sometimes the scents do transform. That's not the case with this one. It really is the same from cold sniff to burning, except warmer, which is a silly thing to say or a kind of a weird way to put it. But it just creates this even more cozy type fragrance. It's just a very familiar, cozy, comforting scent for me. Fall is obviously my favorite season. I've already decorated for fall. I just moved right past summer because I was over it. So what you get from this, I feel like that espresso base that they're talking about here smells a lot like that new whipped coffee scent that they have. It's a creamier espresso, and there is that whipped cream note that's in here. So that might be what's tamping that espresso note down, because when Bath & Body Works does espresso, it is strong and it oftentimes has some chocolatey notes to it. I don't get chocolate from this at all. It's more of like a fresh roasted espresso with a lot of creaminess, and it's done really well. Now, I've never burned the whipped coffee or whipped espresso, but I think it's whipped coffee. I haven't purchased that one, so I haven't burned it, but I really like it on cold sniff. I don't know, honestly, why I didn't pick the candle up. I should have, and maybe I still will, but that's kind of the coffee base that I get from this. And there is that pumpkin pie spice that comes through on this, but it's not overwhelming. It really is like you get a pumpkin spice latte, except you don't allow them to put like the 3, 4, 5 pumps of syrup that they normally put in there. It's too much for me. It honestly gets too sweet with the amount of syrup that Starbucks uses in their recipes. So if I scale it back, I feel like that's the amount of spice that I'm getting from this candle. It's there. You can tell it's a coffee candle. You can tell it's that it has those fall spices, that cinnamon, that nutmeg, that like maybe just like a tiny touch of clove even. Not a ton. Clove can be very overpowering very quickly, but it's just those classic fall, I guess, mulling type spices in a way. A little bit of cinnamon in there, and it's just done really well. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with this one, just in terms of the fragrance and how it translates from cold sniff to warming. I really like it a lot. Let's talk about what I'm not as big of a fan of, and that is these wicks. Now, I'm going to show you guys the unburned version. You see, it has those thick rope-like wax-covered wicks that tend to want to dud out for me very quickly. I only trim the tiniest bit off the tops of these particular wicks because there isn't much of a mushroom top that forms. They just are like, they're almost like stumps, like little tiny tree stumps. So let's take a look inside here. So I just lit this this evening, so you can see that I didn't even trim before this burn because I did notice that after the last one, it seemed like the wicks had kind of disintegrated just a little bit. And I know I didn't over trim the wicks because I was very, very careful. I even used cuticle scissors, and there was only just a tiny little bit of like a deformation at the top of the wick. And sometimes when I have that with Bath & Body Works candles, sometimes they'll let out like a little spark when I'm lighting them. And that always makes me nervous because I did once have one of those little sparks pop out, luckily on my kitchen counter, but it landed on a piece of paper and it started to like burn through. I tapped it out pretty quickly, but ever since then I've been a little scared to have those wick fragments like jump off the wick when lighting them. So, and it's kind of a balancing act with this one. I do think ultimately I will have to put this in a candle crock to finish it off. I think I'm okay with that because it's such a great scent, and I know that once I put it in the crock, I'll probably actually get a slightly longer lifespan out of the candle. I think I'm going to go ahead and bring my cream colored candle crock that I don't really love the look of, but I might bring that down here into the kitchen and definitely pop these Bath & Body Works candles in there and finish them out in the kitchen. With a scent like this, it's perfect for fall mornings. We have had some cool mornings here, lately, and it's really nice to light this one while you're having your first cup of coffee in the morning. So strength is about, I would say, a 6 out of 10. And the throw isn't super great. I normally expect more from my Bath & Body Works candles in terms of throw, but it's only about a 5. So it's decent in the room and like the very nearby surrounding spaces, but it doesn't travel much beyond the area where I have it. So I have had this out in the entryway where it throws a little bit better, and that's just an airflow thing in that area. But here in the kitchen, which is normally where I would burn a scent like this, I'm not getting the type of throw that I'm used to with Bath & Body Works. It's okay. It's kind of like a nice kitchen specific scent anyway, but at the same time, I hope that the rest of the candles that I bought are a little bit more on par with the throw that I'm used to from Bath & Body Works. So you guys, overall, this does get 2 thumbs up for me. I mean, the fact that I purchased another one really sort of says a lot, because like I said, I do anticipate having problems with this. I knew I would as soon as I saw the Wicks, but the scent is just so nice. So anyway, there you guys go. Those are my thoughts. I really love this one. And if you have tried it out, let me know your experience and what you think. And yeah, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this one. So leave a comment down below. I'll put a link to this to the Bath & Body Works website. I don't know of any sales going on either this coming week or this coming weekend. So there was a candle sale just recently. So they tend to happen every few weeks at this point. So there'll be another one coming up soon. So anyway, have a great rest of your day and a great start to the week, and I'll see you for some more candle reviews this week. Take care. Toodaloo.